Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and in this video I am doing a very quick McCall's pattern haul. Now the pattern haul that I am doing is for a late McCall Spring 2022 patterns, which I'll talk about here shortly. But if you don't know, McCall's patterns are on sale right now. It started on the 14th and will end on the 17th, which is Sunday. So just to let you know, it's on sale. I'll go ahead and put up the flyer to show you where it's on sale at Joann's for $1.99. So before I get started, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe button, and also turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into the McCall's Spring 2022 pattern haul. All right, so listen you guys. So when this came out, this was back towards the end of June, about 2 weeks ago. I seen this and I posted in my stories. I was not at home, but I posted it in my stories. And I even said, did anyone notice that Something Delightful website says spring? Are we not in full summer? And I remember at 85th and Wade, she said the same thing. I took note of that. So I was like, did they forget that summer started on the 21st? Because they're releasing like a very, very late, spring patterns in the summertime, which I have never heard of. But I only picked up 10 patterns. So this is going to be a relatively quick. So let's go ahead and get on to the first pattern. So the first pattern that I picked up is McCall's 8281, which is a Mrs. Dress. Now this is like a quick pullover pattern with the curved waist seams, and it has a gathered skirt with side pockets. Now you can say this is pretty much like an easy sundress that you can wear this summer. I do plan on sewing it this summer within the next few weeks. I like that V-neck that they have going on, and this really reminds me of McCall's 7115, which I did for Mother's Day. The facing and all that good stuff. The only difference is I did it with shorts instead of a skirt at the very bottom. But this reminds me exactly of McCall's 7115. I'm going to go ahead and put that pattern up so you can see that sometimes these patterns remind you of a previous pattern that you may have in your stash. So always look at your stash before you go and pick up patterns. Now this pattern is rated as easy, and I could see it's why it's rated as easy. Now it does have a mid knee length and a lower calf length as well. You can do the roll up sleeves, the long sleeve, or the button cuffs and sleeveless option as well. Now a couple of fabric options that you can use that they give you as options is linen, cotton, stable knits, and gauze fabric. For me, I would probably use cotton fabric, but I don't know because it's hot here in Orlando. But that's the first pattern that I picked up. Moving on to the next pattern, it's 8282. Now when I seen this one, I am here for view C. It does remind me of a previous pattern, and that pattern was one that I just did for the dress series, and that pattern is 8034. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you can see it. The only difference is that front bodice portion has like ruching going on at the front, shoulder strap. Everything else pretty much is similar to what I just did. It does have a additional tier. So this pattern is rated as average. View B, you have your ruffled peplum and the elastic puff sleeves. View C, you have the midi dress that has the ruching at the bodice and the puff sleeves as well. And then view D is like a long gown. So, I mean, to be honest, I picked it up because I seen the ruching, but then after picking it up, I was just like, I kind of had this dress already. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it or take it back, but I did pick it up because it was $1.99. All right. Moving on to the next pattern is 8284. My daughter actually seen this in the pattern drawer. I kind of skipped over it when I was looking, and she was just like, oh, mommy, this is pretty. Now, this pattern is rated as average. It is a top and dress pattern that have the pointed and the ruffled collar variations and stuff like that. It also have variations in the sleeves. You could either do it with a cuff or you could do it like a puff sleeve as well. The sleeve lengths come in 3/4 length sleeve, and then it, like I just mentioned, it has the cuff and the long sleeve as well. And it also has a flounce. You can do it with the flounce. which is view C, and then without the flounce, which is view D. Now, when I seen this pattern and she showed me, this reminds me of exactly what I just did for the Chip and Dale when I did the hashtag so much colors. So this reminds me of New Look 6707 that I just did about a month ago. So I could kind of see why Something Delightful or McCall's put out this collection very late, because it reminds you of patterns from like the last 2 seasons. Just to be honest, you know, that's just my honest opinion, but this is 8284. The next pattern is McCall's 8285. This is, of course, a Mrs. Top and Dress pattern. It has the tiers going on. It's like a tiered shirt dress that have length and sleeves variation. View A is a blouse. View B, C, and D is your shirt dress that has that 3 tiers. You guys remember when I did my Easter dress? It was a lot of tiers. So I don't even know why I really picked this up, to be honest with you, because I'm sick of looking at tiers, to be honest. But it will change in about another month or so. I'll probably be back to wanting to do things with tiers and stuff like that. But this reminds me of that Mimi G pattern. Mimi G's pattern is Simplicity 9114. It pretty much reminds me of that. The only difference is it does have a long sleeve option, and Mimi's G's is kind of like a burnout type fabric. Now, the fabric options you can use for this is your cotton blends, lawn, eyelet, your gauze, and then you can use lace and contrast it too. So there's many different options that you could do for this dress as well. But this is the next pattern that I picked up. This is one of the patterns that I picked up from Joann's 8285. Next one is 8286. This is a Mrs. and Women's dress pattern. It is rated as average. Now this is basically your tie front shirt dress that wraps around the waist, and you know, it gives you like that quenched waist or whatnot. The dress does have a collar. It comes in short sleeves or long sleeves. So view B is your short sleeves, view C is your, view A is your short sleeves, view B is your sleeveless, and view C is your long sleeve. Now, the reason why I picked it up is because I seen that little wraparound that I am very interested in. Of course, I would do mine in the short sleeve version, view A, but I would do the length of, you know, actually extend the length. Now, I'm not here for that curved hem. That's just not my thing. But if you do the curved hem, I did hear from a friend that it's best if you use bias tape around that curve instead of just trying to fold it up, you know, stitch at 5/8 of an inch, basting stitch all the way around, and then try to make it even. Just use some bias tape, and it will save you a lot of work. Okay, so that's just a tip. Thank you, friend, for giving me that tip. You know who you are. So yeah, thank you for that information. But I just don't sew enough on curved hems to even let you guys know that. When that was said to me, I was like, oh, I need to share that. All right, so moving on to the next pattern, 8287. Now, this is a Mrs. Top pattern. It is a Learn to Sew pattern with the square and the round neckline. Now, this pattern also reminds me of another pattern, and I think that pattern is 8926. I'm going to look it up to make sure that I am actually correct with that pattern number, but it does remind me of a pattern that I possibly have in my stash. And I believe, like I said before, I believe that pattern is Simplicity 8926. It's very similar except for the cuffs at the sleeve, the poofy sleeves as well. Those are the only thing that's different. It does have a invisible zipper in the back as well. And you see have that collar too, like that Peter Pan collar. Now, the reason why I picked it up is because I like view B, which is what the model is wearing. So like I said, I may get around to this pattern, but that's the view that I'm interested in doing when I get around to this pattern, and it's rated as an easy pattern. Some of the fabric options you can use is gingham, cotton blends, linen, and sateen, just to name a few. All right, so the next pattern that I picked up is McCall's 8288. And this pattern is an average pattern. It's a flowy jumpsuit. All right. It comes together very, very easy. Now, this is like the extended sizing patterns for, you know, the plus size models or plus size women, Mrs. and plus sizes as well. This jumpsuit has gathered neckline, raglan sleeves, hooks and eyes, front opening, all of that good stuff. Now, this pattern reminds me of the jumpsuit that Talisha made for hashtag sewing 5 and below. I believe that pattern was McCall's 8069. It is, now before you say, no, it doesn't, I'm going to tell you this. It reminds me of that pattern, but it's a little different. Okay. So the one that she sewed up, which is 8069, what I mean by it looks similar is like, if you look at view A, it comes around the neck, even though it has like a raglan sleeve style, just to say, but it does remind me, like the line art kind of reminds me of McCall's 8069, not completely, but similar. Also, I did McCall's 8212, which it reminds me of the putting together the bodice section. It reminds me of that same pattern, even though that is a dress pattern and not a jumpsuit pattern. So some of these patterns remind me of other patterns. So that's just one thing that I did want to let you know. But some of the fabric options for this is cotton blends, gauze, linen, and stable knit as well. So some of the sizing, it does come in 3 different pattern envelopes, 8 to 16, 18W to 24W, and 26W to 32W, from what I've seen in the pattern drawer, and they had all of them. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is because this is extended sizing, you should be able to get this in your size. All right, so now moving over to the last pattern that I got for myself, and then I got 2 patterns for my daughter. So the pattern that I got for myself is 8292. Mimi G did a sew along for this on her channel. It is shorts and pants. It's very, very wide. Okay, so it's a high-waisted gathered wide leg pants and shorts. It has a yoke and a front pocket. Now, before I say anything else, you guys know that this pattern was pretty much released last season in the early spring collection. So this pattern reminds me of McCall's 8260 that I was going to do a sew along for it, but I looked at how much the, ease it was and put it back. Okay, that's what I did. Now, the difference between the two is both of them have that, rounded high waist yoke. That's what it's called. It has a yoke in the front. Okay, so for 8292 is high waist gathered wide leg pants and shorts that have the yoke with the pockets in the front pockets, right? But then on 8260, it's a Melissa Watson pattern, right? And it also have the soft pleats in the front and the back darts and all that good stuff. But it also have a shaped waistband. It has the button opening on the side, and slanted pocket. That's what it is. Slanted pockets on the side. But they're similar. They're not exactly the same, but they're similar. And there's another pattern that Mimi G did. Once I find it, I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen so you can see what I'm saying, that some of these patterns are super similar to a previous one. All right, so moving on to the next pattern, it's 8283. Which I got this for my daughter. She wanted it. It was $1.99, so I got it. So it's a very easy pattern. It's just basically a pullover elastic neckline dress. That's it. Now, the reason why I got it is because I am doing a complete wardrobe for her. You guys will see it once it's completely done. So it's going to be, a little while in order for me to do it. But what she picked, the patterns that she picked, amazing. Okay, I may share that with you guys as we get it up and going, or I may wait until the very end for the complete reveal. And the last pattern that I picked up is also for my daughter, 8295. It's a top, skirt, shorts, and pants pattern. So it's like build a mini girl's wardrobe pattern. She knows I'm not finna let her wear a crop top, so we're gonna extend that top just a little bit. And she wants gingham, just like you see the model wearing here. But it's basically a matching set, wide elastic pants and, elastic at the waistband as well. I like that boat neck line that they have as well. But yeah, that's all I picked up at Joann's doing this McCall sale. I hope you like this quick, short pattern haul video. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. Also, I would like to see it in the comments below which one you think I should do and which one would you be excited for me to do. All right, tell me down in the comment section below, and until next time, keep sewing.